Killing 35 people in 24 hours is crazy.
If you think the snakes,
I just like
spiders,
all
and
YouTube videos I
sharks are
watch.
the
Nice.
deadliest things in Australia,
You're a menace.
just wait until you learn more about today's killer, who only needed one day to take the lives of 35 people and destroy the lives of countless others. Welcome back to Twisted Minds. My name is James, and today we're going to be unraveling
I'm about to grab a
the
water.
explosive story behind Martin Bryant, the most notorious mass murderer in Australia's history, and a man responsible for one of the worst single-person mass shootings the world has ever seen, the Port Arthur Massacre. It's been 25 years since this
I have never heard of this.
The Port Arthur Massacre.
The Port Arthur Massacre. I've never heard of this.
It's been 25 years since this tragic event.
Bro
which has
dropped a
since
nuke.
resulted
Now you're
in the
wild.
Australian state placing extensive restrictions on gun laws. And a buyback scheme was initiated in which over 643,000 firearms were handed back, which cost the government around $350 million.
Yeah.
The country no longer allows adults to purchase any type of firearm without a license.
That's crazy.
Martin Bryant was born on the 7th of May, 1967, at the Queen Alexandra Hospital in Hobart, Tasmania. The first child of Maurice and Carleen Bryant. The couple couldn't possibly know the horrors that were to happen because of their son. A violent and disruptive child, Martin was severely bullied at school. This led Martin to becoming the bully to children younger than him and weaker than him. This behavior led to some quick punishment, with Martin being suspended from
Why can't everybody just be nice, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Newtown Primary School in 1977 at just the age of 10 years old. He would soon undergo the first of many psychological assessments. Here it was discovered that Martin liked to kill,
how your day been?
torture
Mine's been
animals,
good. What about
and
you,
that
Elliot?
He had an IQ of only
Wait, kill and torture animals?
66.
Only
making him
66.
legally mentally disabled. The following
Word.
year, in 1978, Martin returned to school with greatly improved behavior.
What?
But it wasn't to last. After failing
What was the longest subathon? I think like a month and some change.
to befriend any of his classmates,
I don't know, though.
he returned to
I'm
bullying
slow.
the younger children. When he was just 14 years old, Martin got his first firearm. It was
At
an air rifle
14.
that his father had bought for him as a present. The young boy would carelessly fire the weapon from a distance at drivers passing by and shoot down birds.
What?
This cruel habit of killing innocent animals earned the boy the nickname Silly Martin, with children saying that he had no sense and no feeling for other living creatures. High school wasn't much better for Martin, as he was transferred to a special education unit at Newtown High School in 1980 to help with his learning disabilities. In 1983, after he left school, the boy was assessed for a disability pension. In his assessment, the psychologist wrote that the young man could not read nor write, although he was able to garden. His parents' efforts prevented further deterioration, and due to the possibility that their son could be schizophrenic,
Hey,
they
bro, that's a
faced
W, bro.
bleak future with him. Through this assessment, Martin
Shout
was
out to you.
awarded the disability pension.
I'm trying to be like
although
you.
he also worked as a handyman and a gardener. His
Hey.
mental disabilities are possibly one of the main reasons he had such a difficult time connecting with others, and what ultimately led to one of the most horrific mass shootings in the world. For the next 5 years, Martin remained at home with his parents, doing odd handyman jobs locally. In early 1987, when he was 19 years old, Martin finally made his first real connection with another person, a 54-year-old woman called Helene Mary Elizabeth Harvey. She was an heiress to a share in the Tattersall's lottery fortune. Martin came across Miss Harvey whilst looking for new customers for his lawn mowing service. Miss Harvey, who lived with her mother Hilza, ended up befriending the unusual man, which led to him becoming a regular visitor to the woman's neglected mansion. Whenever he visited, Martin would help the older woman with chores, such as mowing the lawn and helping to feed her 14 dogs and 40 cats. With this new
How many?
mowing the lawn, and helping to feed
her 14 dogs and 40 cats. 40 cats.
her 14 dogs and 40 cats. With
What?
this newfound friendship, it seemed like things might be looking up for the eccentric man. With the amount of animals in the house and the fact that the two elderly women couldn't clean up after them properly, it was no surprise when a neighbor reported Miss Harvey to the health authorities for the mess that was her home. Upon inspection, medics found that both Miss Harvey and her mother were in need of urgent hospital treatment due to the unsanitary conditions that they had been living in. Unfortunately, though, it was too late for Hilza Harvey, and she died at the age of 79. With her mother gone, Miss Harvey decided to invite Martin to live with her in the mansion, to which he happily accepted. Though it was never proven, some people believe that the couple's relationship went beyond that of just two friends. The two started spending large amounts of Miss Harvey's money, including buying more than 30 new cars in less than 3 years.
How much money did she have? 500K?
They also went shopping daily and ate out at restaurants. With all of that money, his first real friend, and a chance to be normal, you might think that Martin would finally start to be better. But you'd be wrong. At around the
rich?
same time,
Oh wait, they did say she had a mansion, right?
that the future killer moved in with the lottery heiress, he was reassessed for his pension disability, and the outcome was even worse than before. The psychiatrist attached a note to his assessment, which read, "Father protects him from any occasion which might upset him as he continually threatens violence. Martin tells me he would like to go around shooting people. It would be unsafe to allow Martin out of his parents' control." You would think that with such a shocking and disturbing evaluation, that Martin would be taken to a mental health facility to be monitored. Unfortunately, this wasn't the case, and so, although he didn't live with his parents anymore, they were always close by to keep an eye on him. In 1991, Miss Harvey decided to buy a 29-hectare farm called Torresville in the small township of Copping. Both she and Martin moved into the new house together, to the displeasure of their neighbors, who disapproved of their relationship. Not only did they not like the relationship, but all of the locals were very wary of this new and unusual man. Late at night, he would roam around the neighborhood, firing his air rifle at dogs when they barked at him. He would also
firing your air rifle at dogs just because they bark at you is crazy. What's up, Heather? What's good, gang? Nah, that's crazy. I ain't gonna lie. That's crazy. Like what?
Fire it at tourists as they stopped to buy apples at a stall on the highway. Not signs of a mentally stable man. It was no wonder why people tried to avoid him at all costs, despite his efforts at befriending them. On the 20th of October,
I'm gonna go grab my Corey Hitchin hoodie. Hold on. Look, you can just keep hearing my headphones on. I'm gonna keep listening. I'm bare back though.
Miss Harvey had passed away. Although the case is still a bit dubious as to how her death actually occurred, the story goes that she and Martin were traveling in the car together with Miss Harvey's two dogs when it suddenly veered onto the wrong side of the road and hit an oncoming car head-on. Miss Harvey and her two dogs were instantly killed, and Martin suffered severe neck and back injuries. Police investigated his potential role in the incident, as he had been known to lunge for the steering wheel whilst the car was moving. He had caused Miss Harvey to crash 3 times already by doing this. Miss Harvey had been so fearful of Martin that she had even confided in her neighbors that he was the reason why she couldn't drive faster than 37 miles per hour. Although police did investigate him, Martin told them it was the dogs roaming around freely which caused the crash, and he was subsequently no longer seen as a suspect. After her death, Martin was named the sole beneficiary of Miss Harvey's will and came into possession of assets totaling more than
$650,000.
$550,000.
Yeah.
However, because of Martin's low IQ, he wasn't able to look after his own finances, and so his mother applied for and was granted a guardianship order to place Martin's assets under the management of public trustees, which ended up being his father.
Okay.
But the tragedy didn't stop there. After Miss Harvey's death, Martin went back to live with his mother, whilst his father looked
That's some
after the
GTA
farm
money?
that his
No
son
facts.
had inherited. It was around this time that his father, Maurice Byron, tried to buy a small bed and breakfast near Port Arthur. However, before he could get his finances in order, the building was bought by another couple, David and Nolene Martin. Martin tried to buy the business off of the couple, but they refused. In the months that followed, his father, Maurice Byron, fell into a deep depression, which he often blamed Martin for. And on the 16th of August, 1993, divers found his body in the lake of the property with a diving weight belt around his neck. This would later prove to be one of the big things that pushed Martin over the edge. The death was ruled as a suicide, although there are those who believe that Martin actually killed his father so that he was able to access his money, which his father had financial guardianship over. In the aftermath of his father's death, Martin inherited his $550,000, which Miss Harvey had left for him, as well as $250,000 from his father.
That's 800,000. 800,000.
Now that he was alone, Martin's unusual and eccentric personality started showing through more and more. He was often seen sporting a gray linen suit, a cravat, lizard skin shoes, and a Panama hat, and would try to talk to random strangers, telling them that he had a well-paying career. As his mental health declined and his need for companionship grew, Martin would often go on multiple trips overseas just so that he could talk to people on the plane. Forced to be polite, people would have to talk to him. However, they still felt that he was incredibly creepy. But this was not enough to satisfy his dire need for friends, and his mental health got even worse. In late 1995, Martin became suicidal after deciding that he had had enough. I just felt more people were against me. When I tried to be friendly toward them, they just walked away, he said in an interview.
Wow.
In his loneliness, Martin quickly turned to alcohol, and in the 6 months...
That's depressing. Dang. That's depressing. What's up, Flame?
Prior to the Port Arthur massacre,
Gay
his
man.
consumption increased exponentially.
Interesting.
According to Martin, he first thought of the plan for Port Arthur 4 to 12 weeks before it took place, and based it off the Dunblane massacre, which had happened in Scotland, UK, only 1 month prior to Martin's attack. At some point during the years leading up to the horrendous attack, Martin had managed to legally buy himself an AR-10 semi-automatic rifle, an AR-15 rifle, an L1A1 self-loading battle rifle, and a USAS-12 automatic shotgun. He also visited the Port Arthur historic site multiple times in the months leading up to the tragic event and bought a large sports bag, which he said needed to be strong enough to hold large amounts of ammunition. It seemed that Martin was determined to go through with his
Bro got a loadout? No, literally, bro. Golly.
On the 28th of April, 1996, Martin put his plan into action. He was unusually awoken at 6 a.m. by his alarm clock. During interviews after the massacre, his girlfriend of the time and his remaining...
So everybody can get a girlfriend but me. Yeah. I feel some type of way. Yes, I do. Yes.
family said that it was strange, as he had never used the alarm clock before. At around 9:45 a.m., after his girlfriend had left for the day, Martin left his home and headed toward Port Arthur, along with all of his weapons and his bag full of ammo. By 11:45 a.m., he had arrived at the Seascape Bed and Breakfast, the very one that his father had been unable to buy. Martin apparently believed that the owners, the Martins, had deliberately bought the property to hurt his family and blamed them for his father's depression, which ultimately led
You have one.
to his death. An act he decided that they would pay for with their lives. Martin fatally shot the Martins in the guest room of their house, before making his way to Port Arthur. They were the first two victims of his devastating massacre.
That's
Once
crazy.
at Port Arthur, Martin went into the Broad Arrow Cafe, carrying his large blue sports bag. He ordered a meal and made small talk with the tourists in the small shop, acting as if he was just another visitor on a day out.
That's crazy. Bro just caught a body and just, yo, imagine working at, like, anybody here work at like a 9-to-5 job right now, bro? Like, imagine working at like a restaurant, bro, and the person you talk to is he each caught a body 2 hours before you walked in. That's crazy.
Unfortunately, his plans were much more sinister. After finishing his meal,
and you don't even
Martin
know.
moved toward the back of the cafe, which had around 60 to 70 guests in it at the time, and set up a video camera on an empty table. He then took out his AR-15.
So how is your day going after ending lives? That's what I'm saying. Like, what? That's crazy.
Semi-automatic rifle and started firing into the crowd of innocent people.
Bro.
Within only 15 seconds, the cold-blooded killer had fired 17 shots, killing 12 people and injuring another 10. Martin then walked toward the gift shop, where people had tried to hide, and fired 12 more times, killing another 8 people and wounding 2 more.
Bro.
Outside of the cafe,
WTF, are you watching? The boy who grew up to kill 35 people in 24 hours. That's crazy.
a group of people had gathered, believing the gunshots to be part of a reenactment play. Martin took this opportunity to refill his ammo and leave the cafe, only to callously shoot into the crowd in the car park.
There's somebody going crazy shooting people here. There he is. He's over there. I can't believe it.
Martin then got into his car and drove away, leaving 4 more people dead and 6 more injured. Only 300 meters down the road, 36-year-old Nanette Meekark was walking with her 2 daughters, 6-year-old Alana Meekark and 3-year-old Madeline Meekark. Martin saw the family as he drove and pulled over. Not knowing what had just happened down the port, Nanette had no idea how dangerous the man was. In the blink of an eye, Martin shot and killed Nanette and Madeline, who she was carrying in her arms. Alana tried to run away, however, in an act of true heartlessness, Martin chased after her and killed her with a single shot.
Bro.
Continuing with his rampage, Martin stole a gold BMW after killing all 4 of its occupants. He then drove a short distance down the road and pulled up alongside a white Toyota with a couple inside. He took out one of his weapons and ordered the male occupant of the car to get into the boot of the BMW before then shooting and killing the female driver. At around 2:10 in the afternoon, the mass murderer returned to the Seascape guest house, set the stolen car on fire,
and yeah, we watch JCS all the time.
Took his hostage inside, where the bodies of the Martins still lay. During this time, 2 police officers had been called about the roadside murders. Tried to approach Martin, however, he opened fire on them, causing them to hide in a ditch and become pinned down. It wasn't until around 9 p.m. that a special operations group of the Tasmania police team arrived on the scene. They rescued the pinned down officers, and for the next 18 hours, a tense standoff between Martin and the police took place. At first, the police tried to negotiate with the killer, but it was cut short when the battery
crazy, bro. That's crazy.
on Martin's phone ran out. His only demand had been that he wanted to be transported to an airport in an army helicopter. During negotiations, Martin ended up killing his hostage, bringing the total number of people killed in his monstrous rampage to 35, whilst a further 23 were injured. The next morning, in a last-ditch attempt to escape, Martin set fire to the guest house and tried to get away amidst the confusion. This didn't work, and instead, the killer was captured and taken to Royal Hobart Hospital to have his burns treated, which he received in the fire. He was kept under heavy guard the entire time. After his arrest, Martin was held in custody without the chance of bail. Whilst he was awaiting trial, he was examined by court-appointed psychiatrist Ian Sale, who believed that Martin possibly suffered from a mixture of conduct disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity, and Asperger's syndrome.
Bro, look at him, bro. It's tweaking.
Not that that excused the horror that he had just committed. Eventually, Martin was judged fit to stand trial, which happened on the 7th of November, 1996. Initially, the mass murderer pleaded not guilty, but his court-appointed lawyer, John Avery, later convinced him to change his mind and plead guilty to all charges. 2 weeks later, Martin was given 35 consecutive life sentences, one for each victim killed in his attack. He was also given an additional 1,652 years in prison for attempted murder and grievous physical harm to numerous people.
Hey, bro, make it 2,000. Make it 2,000.
The sentence was issued with no chance of parole, the first of its kind.
No, but really though, like, why do you even plead not guilty at that point? Like, bro. What?
So it's safe to say that he's never getting out. Throughout his imprisonment, the once formidable killer attempted to take his own life on 8 separate occasions. The latest being in 2007, when he tried to slit his own throat with a razor.
He killed animals as a kid? Yes, literally. Yes, he did.
Forcing him to be briefly hospitalized before being returned to prison. In recent exclusive interviews, Martin has been documented to have become severely overweight as he refused to join in on exercise in the prison courtyard. He has also been noted to have declined even more mentally, to the point where he is willing to trade sexual favors for chocolate.
I'll be honest, I don't care. I don't feel bad, bro. I don't. I really don't.
2021, the unremorseful mass murderer is being housed in the maximum security Risdon prison.
I don't feel bad at all.
Because of the weapons that Martin used in the massacre, along with the fact that he was able to legally and easily purchase the guns despite his history of violence, the Australian government decided that some serious reforms were needed in terms of their gun laws. The legal ownership and use of self-loading rifles, self-loading shotguns, and pump-action shotguns were either banned or heavily restricted. And a buyback scheme was initiated in which over 643,000 firearms were handed back, which cost the government around $350 million. Since the Port Arthur massacre, there have been many conspiracy theories behind what actually happened that day. Some people believe that it was a setup by the Australian government so that they could enact stricter gun laws, as there had been a number of...
You think the government set niggas up to just die, to just kill niggas, to restrict gun laws, or enact stricter gun laws? Sorry, I don't know how to speak English. Like, what?
Mass shootings before the Port Arthur one took place. Others believe that Martin wasn't actually the shooter, as witness descriptions didn't match his appearance. These are just some of the theories that people have come up with. However, none have been proven to be true. Thanks for tuning in to Twisted Minds. That was the case of Martin Bryant. And why don't you go ahead and click on one of the 2 videos on your screen for another one of our videos.
That's crazy. My brother got a silenced shotgun, 2 pistols, and an AR. Yo, what do you need all that for? Hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie. Hey, maybe he just like guns, bro. Maybe he just like guns. You know what I'm saying? I got me a little high point. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just playing. If I ever did get a gun, though, I wouldn't let nobody know because, like, that kind of defeats the purpose. You know what I'm saying? Pull up on me, bro. You just pull up on me, bro. You gonna think I don't got nothing, and I put that chain out. It's over, bro. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I actually, bro, I couldn't like actually like think of like shooting somebody, bro. Like